Hey there, I'm Shihan Matt from Crabapple Martial Arts Academy. And in this video, we're going to be going over our advanced level kicking techniques, or Geri Waza. In the last couple of videos, we've gone over kicks like front kick, round kick, side kick in our basic level, and then in our intermediate levels, we went through hook kick, stomp kick, and back kick. Well, in this video, we're going to cover some kicks that are done at the more advanced levels of training. We're going to go over crescent kick, axe kick, and a variation of a couple different spin kicks. Now, the first kick we're going to cover is the crescent kick, or Mikazuki Geri. Now, the crescent kick can be thrown two different ways. It can be thrown from an inside to outside arc, or an outside to inside arc. So the first one we're going to do is the easier of the two of the crescent kicks, to kick from the inside to the outside. So I'm going to start in my front stance. My hands are up as always. Now I'm going to take my rear leg and I'm going to shift my weight from the rear to the front, and then I'm going to pick up my leg. It's going to somewhat travel like a front kick with a snap at the end, but it's going to make this oblong arc away from my body. So it's going to come out and then forward and then down. So it comes out and down. Now, it can be thrown to the opponent's head, or as what I like to use it for, against a punch. As a punch comes in, kicking the punch as it comes towards me. It allows me to use my leg to block versus my hands. So, one more time, off of the rear leg, it's going to come up and out with a snap at the very end. Now, the striking surface on this variation of crescent kick is the outside edge of the foot, the bottom outside edge. So this area right here is where I'm going to be making contact against my target. Now, this is an inside to outside crescent kick, or in Japanese, a Mikazuki Geri. Another option for the crescent kick would be a outside to inside arc. So once again, we're in our fighting stance, our hands are up. Our rear foot is going to now travel outside our frame and then hook inward, much like the other version of the crescent kick, but in the opposite directions. So from here, it's going to come in and then across, hitting our target. So hands up, one, and then it would be down. So those are the two variations of crescent kick, Mikazuki Geri. The next kick we're going to cover in this video is the axe kick, or Ono Geri. Axe kick will travel much like a crescent kick on its ascension up, but once it gets to the apex of the kick, it will drop straight down onto the target. This kick you're hitting with the back of the heel. The cool thing about this kick is that once it goes up and drops down, you're able to use some of the largest muscles in your body to pull that kick down, which makes it a very heavy, very strong kick. The only downside of this is it's easily seen and doesn't have a great deal of applications. It can be used against the hands to clear the hands out of the way, or dropped in on the shoulders of the attacker. So, from our fighting stance, our hands are up. I'm going to bring my leg up towards center line, bring it up. Once it gets to the height that I can get it, it's going to drop straight down. So it comes up and then straight down. Up, straight down. Up, straight down. So it's up, down. Now, this does not have a fully bent knee chamber like you would see in a front kick or side kick, or even in your crescent kick. The leg comes nearly straight out of the gate and then straight down. So, once again, off that rear leg, it's going to come up and then down. This is known as the axe kick, or Ono Geri. The final two kicks we're going to cover are kicks that you've already learned, the side kick and the hook kick. The only difference now is we are going to be throwing them off the rear leg, and in order to do that, we have to add a spin at the beginning of the kick. Now, in Japanese, whenever we have a spin or crossing like this, it is known as an ura, or reverse. The hard thing with this is sometimes we use the term yaku for reverse as well, but for this instance, we're going to use the term ura, U-R-A, ura. So these are ura geris, spin kicks. The first one we're going to cover is a spin side kick. So it's fundamentally the same as a regular side kick. The only difference is we're going to be kicking off the rear leg, so we're going to have to turn our body first. So from our side stance, our hands are going to be up. The first motion I have to do for this kick, my front leg will take a small little step and turn so my heel points at my target. Now from this position, I'm going to spin the long way around and look over my opposite shoulder, the shoulder that matches the foot that's going to kick. Now from here, I'm going to chamber and then execute a side kick off of this leg, straight out, rechamber, and then it's down. So once again, I'm in my side stance. I'm going to turn this foot. Now, sometimes you'll see us in fighting, we'll take this little step. We just have to be careful with that because it could telegraph, it could let our attacker know that we're going to do a spin kick. So from here, turn that front foot, point the heel at your target, look over the opposite shoulder, pick up the back leg, side kick, rechamber, and then down. Now, just like a normal side kick, you're hitting with the bottom of the heel. Now, that is ura, Yoko, Geri. The final kick we're going to cover in this video is a spin hook kick, or in Japanese, a ura Kage Geri. Ura Kage Geri. Spin hook kick. Now, just like the spin side kick, the first half of it is the same. We will start in our side stance. When we go to throw the kick, we will turn that front foot. We will look over the shoulder. At that point, that is when the kick changes slightly. Much like a regular hook kick, we chamber like a side kick, but then it goes out at a slight angle and then arcs through the point of contact and then bend the knee and point the knee at your target. So when we put this in context of the spin hook kick, we're in our side stance, our hands are up. Turn the heel, look over the shoulder. Now, off this rear leg, out and through, pointing that heel at your target. So from our side stance, turn, look, throw, and then down we go. So, that is the spin hook kick, or ura Kage Geri. Remember, these are not spinning kicks. I'm not picking my leg up and spinning through. It's I spin, then kick. I use my spin as a means of covering distance as well as generating power. So in this video, we covered two variations of crescent kick, an inside to outside and an outside to inside. We also worked axe kick as well as our varying spin kicks. So make sure you guys practice those, and remember, video training is no substitute for on the mat with an instructor. So that being said, get some work in, and I'll see you on the mat.